All right, here is my character that I've created. I've downloaded a different one than Juliana for Mixamo. My character was too large when he came in. You can see that I set the scale to be a tenth the size across the board and then had to by hand fix it. There's a number of things like that that might happen. You might need some to ask questions or need some help, but basically you can just get it to where it looks right. We're going to now create some platforms for him to jump onto. So to do that, we're going to go up here to Game Object. We're going to create a 3D object in a cube. And this cube here is way out there, but we're going to pull it over here so that it's closer. All right, so now we got this cube. Now we're going to rescale it. So we're going to do 4 by 0.1 by 2. And you suddenly have like a platform for him to jump on. Now, works. Okay, so we're going to let him walk on this platform here. Looks like he even automatically, okay, so there we go. So we're going to now want to make several platforms like that. So one of the tricks that you can do is under Assets, make a new folder. Create folder. We're going to call it Templates. And then we're going to grab this cube. We want to rename it to be Platform. And then we're going to grab it and drop it into the templates. And what that does is that creates a template. So now we can just sort of grab other platforms and push those around. Okay, so we're going to quickly make several platforms for him to jump on. You might want to reposition so that you can see from the top, what it looks like. Make it so that it's a little bit of a challenge maybe. It's important that you're able to, like Juliana explained, move around in 3D space so that you can get a feel for what it is you're trying to build here. Now, there's a trick here. Maybe we want to change directions of the platform. So if I hit E on the keyboard, it changes it so that instead of moving it, I can rotate it. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to rotate it like that. Let's make, and then I can change it back to what it was previously by hitting W. Let's make this a little bit higher. Don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. The important thing is that you start building your own platforms here. So anyhow, we're going to keep playing with this a bit. Now let's see if this is playable or not. We're going to run this, and now one thing you can see is it takes a moment for him to spin around like that. So one of the things we may want to consider doing is making it so that the third person, the camera turn speed is improved. So go to the multi-purpose camera rig that we put in there, and we're going to change the turn speed to, I don't know, let's try 3. Let's see how that looks. It still seems a little slow. Let's try turn speed of 5. Okay, that's looking better. Now I did this while I was running, so it's not going to, like when I stop running, it's going to go back to the turn speed of 1. So that's just so we can experiment out around. Let's do it. Let's do a 10. Do it twice as fast as what we just saw. Let's try one more time. Okay, now let's see if we can make him jump. So the controls are a little hard. So one of the things I'm finding is that I don't like how it's the controls that are a little bit hard to use, so we probably need bigger platforms. So one of the nice things is that because we made this into a template, we're going to automatically change it to be larger. Maybe like that. Okay, so let's go back out. And now all the platforms are larger. Let's see how that adjusts things. I'm using an Xbox controller here. So, oh yeah, I forgot I gotta make sure that my auto cam is turned on. We're gonna reduce the turn speed to not be quite so fast. We'll do 5. Let's try it again. Now we can jump up, out, and he fell. But you can see where I'm going with this. I'm just trying to make it so that it is possible to jump between these platforms. And you can kind of just set it up to whatever you want. We're just trying to play around at this point. Okay, we're going to change the platform one more time to be larger. I think we're going to do 10 by 5. And then we go back here, and now they're quite large, but now we got to move them apart. So let's do this. Okay, let's try it again. We're going to run it. I'm using my Xbox controller. So we probably want to give him a bit more jumping power. So let's click on this character, and I'm gonna give him a jumping power of 15. Let's try it again. Okay, so we got the basics there. Now, I'd say there's several problems we want to fix. So one of them is that, first of all, in my character, you can see he crouches too much. So the reason why is because this character was imported and he had some problems. So one of the things that we probably want to do is we probably want to switch. So okay, I just switched to Erica because I was having some problems with the other guy. But what we're going to do now is there's a bit of a gap here, so I want to animate this platform right here so that it moves. So here is how you would do that. Okay, start by going up to Window, and then you want Animator, and or rather Animation, I think. Yes, Animation. And then you're going to come here, you're going to click on the platform, and you're going to say, to begin animation, platform 2, create an animation clip, and you're going to say moving platform, and save it underneath assets. So the name of your project and assets. And now you have an animation clip. Okay, what you want to do is you want to add property, and you're going to be doing a transform. And you're going to be doing, let's say, position. Hit plus. Okay, so it gives it the starting position of the platform. So what you really want to do is you want to change the ending position of the platform, and it's at about 1 second. So what we want to do is, okay, so for this first one, we're going to make it pretty simple. We're only going to change the Y position. So you can see that, move it over here, we're going to make the Y position, let's say 1. All right, so what this means is you can now see that it smoothly animates between those 2 points, right? So it starts where it is, and then it moves it to there. And then what we probably want is to smoothly move it back. So let's actually move this to be right in the middle, and then we're going to add an additional one at the end. And we're going to make it so it's identical to the first one. So it was 4.79. We go to the end here, 4.79. I've got to change it back to being 1 in the middle. Okay, now click on your platform 2, and you're going to drag and drop this near the end there. I'm going to grab that animation. There we go. Now it's on there. So let's try running it. Okay, now notice it's moving exactly the way we want, but it's way too fast. Also, it's not really moving back and forth like I was hoping. It's just going down and then it's teleporting back up. So let's fix that. Okay, it looks like the reason why I had a problem was because I had accidentally set this one to a 1 when I had set this one. So now I've got it. So the first one is 4.79, the middle one is 1, and the last one is 4.79. And you can see inside the game that's now going up and down. But it's still too fast. We got to fix that. So let's fix that next. Put that back there. So we're going to go back to this animation. And we got to stop running. We're going to go back to this animation. Okay, so we want to, if you're here, we want to click on the animator, and then we click here, and we want to do speed. I don't know, let's do 0.1 for the speed. Then try running it again. Okay, it looks a little too slow. So we're gonna go back here, go to the animator again, click on moving platform. Let's do 0.25. Let's see how that looks. Okay, we now have a moving platform. So let's wait for it to be down. Okay, there we go. Now I'll wait for this one to come up. And I still missed it. Alright, but you get the idea. So maybe let's play around with that a bit and try animating some of the other platforms. I'm going to do platform 3 here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to create an animator for it. We'll do rotating platform. Save it. All right. So now, with this rotating platform, this time I want to do add property, transform, rotation. Okay, this is going to allow us to rotate. So we want to do a keyframe in between again. So we add that. All of them are exactly the same at the moment. You can see it doesn't change as I move it. So what we want to do is we want to make it so that it rotates around the y-axis. So okay, so one quick trick would be that we could just make it so that the middle frame here is negative 62.577, whatever it was that was set here. I mean, for you, it may be something different. But we're going to make it so that the middle one is negative and the ones at the end are positive. And then we're going to save it. Then we're going to run. And you can see it's now spinning around, kind of going back and forth, but we want to slow it down anyhow. So the way you do that again is you go to the actual animator, and we're going to slow it down to 0.02. Okay, so now it's moving around like that. So let's go ahead and and I still missed. But anyhow, you can see how this is working. Probably move them a little bit closer together to make it easier. Okay, now one thing that I dislike here is that everything's white. It's really hard to see. I think what we need to do is we need to actually change colors. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to create materials. So under assets, let's do a new folder. Call it materials. Okay, and then go inside of that. And now we're going to create game objects. Inside the folder, right mouse click and do create material. So we're going to make several different colors here. Let's make the ground brown. Let's do a couple of these. Make some new materials. Let's do gray. Let's do blue. All right, let's try to fix each of these. So let's start with brown. So we come over here with brown, and we want to start with, here you click on that. Just to be clear, it's the right here inside this. We want to change this to be kind of a brown color. Let's see, where's a good brown color? Brown would typically have, that'd be gray. So I don't actually know what a good RGB values are for brown, so I Googled it, and it suggests 150, 75, and 0. So let's go try that. $150, 75. Oh, that looks pretty good. Okay, so this is going to be our brown. And then for gray, we're going to do, let's say 100 each. And then for, that looks too gray. Let's reduce it a little bit. We'll do 50 each. That looks too dark. Okay, let's do 150 each. Okay, I like that. All right, and then for blue, let's just select a color of blue here. Okay, now we're going to drag brown onto the ground, gray onto first platform, blue onto the final platform. We'll do gray for each of the other platforms. And this should make it so that it's a lot easier to see what the screen looks like. I think I want to move my platforms a little closer together. That, and then that. I'm going to drop this one a little bit. Move it like this. Okay, let's give that a try. Wait for it. And there we go. We made it to the bottom here. You can see that the rotating platform is trying to knock me off.